Hey guys, welcome back to Patrick's Basics, and today we will be reviewing and learning how to use the National Geographic Hobby Tumbler. So without anything further to do, let's go. When you get it, you should expect first the tumbler itself, a rock holding keychain, a rock holding necklace, 2 packs of rocks, a small bag to put your polished and new rocks in, then a rubber barrel with the lid, the cap, and the inside lid, 2 packs of grit, 1 ring, and 2 clip-on earrings. Okay, so now once we have everything and make sure we can start learning how to use this. So first, we're gonna need to open up the barrel. Like so, we're gonna unscrew the screw and take this lid off. It can be hard sometimes. And then we have this inside. You can usually pop it like that. Pull down. And then here's your barrel. Next, we can take our rocks. You can get your own rocks, or you can just use the rocks provided. Open the bag. And we can pour them in. And you want to make sure they don't come all the way to the top so the lid can get on. About there is usually good. As you can see, here is our rocks. With our rocks in, we can now add grit 1. This is ideal so it can start to smooth out the rocks, so we can add the next grits later on. So you can go ahead and pour that in. Just open up, pour it in, all of it, and then we can throw away the bag. Here I have a cup of lukewarm water, and we're gonna pour in just enough to cover the top of the rocks. Just like that. So now you can see all the rocks are just covered, just at the right amount, not more, not less. With the rocks covered in water and with the grit in, we can now add our lid. First, we'll use this, the first lid with the screw pointing up. We'll go ahead and press it down in as much as we can. This can get a bit hard. Just like that. Make sure that's all the way pressed in there, like that. Then we can put our metal lid on. This can be kind of hard, pretty hard to get on, but we'll have to see. Because it makes sure it's very tight on there, just so the starter lid inside doesn't come out. After we have this lid on, as good as we can, we get our screw or our nut and go ahead and twist that on. Make sure it's nice and tight. We can now come over, grab our tumbler, go ahead, set our barrel in as like so, and let's grab our cord for the tumbler and go ahead and plug it in. Like that. Okay, so now that we have plugged it in, we should have a red dot here, and we have all the day counter. So for the first grit, we want 3 to 5 days. I would do 5 days so we can get the best result, just like that, and then we can start it with the power button. So in 5 days, so tomorrow it'll go down to the 4. And then the next day, 3, and then so on, all the way to 1, and then it'll finally stop. That's when you can take it off, open it up, take out the rocks, wash them off, put them back in, fill it back up with water, and put in grit number 2. And then you can do the process again, put it back on, put the lid back on, come over here. But instead of 3 to 5 days, we'll be doing 6 to 8 days, so we can set it all the way to the 7, and then you can power it, go down 7 days. Okay, you redo all the process. Instead, we're gonna put in grit 3 now, and that's also 7 to 8 days, or 6 to 8 days. Once it gets once it's had all the days, take it off, do it again, and we're gonna do the final grit. This is grit number 4, and this grit to get the best is 7 to 10 days. The long polishing time will help you get the best result, so we want pretty much as long as we can. I would definitely do 10 days, so we can go ahead and set it over to 7, start it, and once it gets all the way down and it's stopped, we can just put it in another 3 or 4 days. And there you go. So that'll be 11 days for this on all, and yes. Finally, after that, we can open this up, take it out, grab the rocks out, take the water out, and you have your finished rocks. Though there are some downsides to this. When you do polish your stones, they don't actually come, once you're done with all the weeks and stuff, they don't actually get really shiny at all. They're mostly, as you can see here, just they're very smooth, but they're not actually shiny. If you can see, they're just very nice and smooth, which is good, but the way that you can make them shiny, though, is to be. Now, in the case I'm about to demonstrate here, if you put too much rocks in it or if they're too heavy, this can happen to the tumbler. You're starting it, but then the motor inside or a sensor notices that it's too heavy, like this, and it stops it just to save it so it doesn't get hurt or anything, and it resets itself. So pretty much how to redo it: unplug it, plug it back in, and then it'll reset. And you want to take out some of the rocks so it's not as heavy, and then put it back on, and then you can go back to tumbling.